Lord, and I just pray that you would just speak through me, Lord, and you would just impart your wisdom, God, your discernment on me, Lord, and that anything that's said here tonight is directly from you, Lord. I pray, God, that we would all just have ears to hear, God, and softened hearts to what I'm about to speak about, Lord. And I just thank you for this opportunity, God, and we just lift this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, building a positive team culture. As I was researching all of this, I just felt there was a lot of different topics that we could have really gone over here tonight. But the things that I'm going to focus on are mindset, self-confidence, product belief, relationships, leadership, and accountability. And they all kind of intertwine into one another and kind of build this really pretty picture at the end. So let's get started. I'm going to be reading just a lot. I kind of wrote down what I was going to be talking about. So it'll just kind of flow easy and we'll get through it quicker. All right. So the definition of mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. It's a mental attitude, our tendencies, habits, or inclinations. Our mindset is what steers our ship, okay? It's what we use to form our opinions, our actions, and our goals. Our mindset can play tricks on us, though. We see things the way our minds have instructed us or have instructed our eyes to see them. As leaders, when we compare ourselves to others, our focus adjusts to the left or to the right, and we lose where our sight was set and what our goals and what we were working towards in our goals. If we stay in our lane, we keep our blinders up, we can enjoy our own journey. Each of us have our own race to run in our personal lives and our business. When we lose sight, we become discouraged and complacent. There's a specific process of learning that each of us have to go through this journey in building a network marketing business. This is all about self-growth and who we are on our insides and what needs to be uprooted and what needs to be changed, and breaking bondage and breaking things in our life that are there from growing up as kids and as growing as adults, and things that are there that we may not want there, or things that we want there that aren't there yet, that we get to grow into, right? And so a lot of this growing in our business is a lot of psychological, mental, heart issues that we get to wrestle around with and pick and choose what we want to keep, right? There's this, when I was a teenager, I was given this idea, and somebody told me, you know, like, you have a 4-inch by 4-inch picture in front of your face of what God wants you to see of your life. This is how much you get to see right now. But the reality is there's this big, beautiful canvas that's already fully painted, and it's 64 inches by 64 inches. It's huge. And we don't get to see that full picture because we take it for granted. We'd squander it if we did. We learn through this process of getting little bits and growing by just baby steps. We learn to really appreciate our life and appreciate the things that we have and who we're growing into be. When we have a poor mindset, when we compare, or when we're predisposition to be angry or pessimistic, or if we have anxiety, depression, things like that, we have this great opportunity to be able to change those predispositions. I know that for my own self, because when I was born to, I wasn't planning on sharing this, this is just coming out, oh my goodness. I was born to 2 drug addicts, and people don't know that about me, okay? So what the world said about my life was that I was not going to make it, folks, okay? My dad was super abusive, and my mom was super codependent. And so what the world said was that this would not be me, okay? I was not going to be successful. And I know that through people pouring into me and me changing the mind about who I am has led me to where I am. And I have 3 boys, and I'm married, and I have a great life. And that is only by God's blessing and his ability to have people in my life at the right time to pour the right things into me, and for my ears to be open and my heart to be softened to those things. If we can concentrate and focus on the opposite ideas that what our brain is telling us, we can change completely our mindset about who we are and build a confidence in ourselves about who we are that we would have never had before. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is every night before you go to bed, if you're struggling with anxiety or depression or anger or being a pessimist about this business or about your life, every night before you go to bed, journal 3 things that you're thankful for every single night. And before you journal those 3 things, read 3 things or read the 9 things that you wrote before that week, and continue to do that and see how your perspective and your mindset changes about who you are as a person. Happier people are more successful. So be aware of positive and exciting things that are going on around you. Don't focus on those negative things. Don't focus on the argument you had with your teenager. Don't focus on the argument you had with your husband. Focus on, your friends having a baby soon, or things that you can really pour yourself into, that you can give to, that you can really pour love out into, because it's really going to grow you happier. Okay? If we are focusing on ourselves, this can be business or life, but if we're focusing on ourselves and on where we want to be, solely where we are going and where we want to be, we really rob ourselves of the joy of the journey. Instead of being other-minded and being self-focused, we really take the joy out of what's going on, because we are constantly focused on all the things we're not doing right and all the things that should have gone better and all of the things that should be what they aren't yet. And there's a reason why they aren't what we think they should be yet, right? There's growth to do. There's still growth to do, okay? So don't focus on what you can do by yourself. Focus on other people. So focus on your downline. Focus on your level ones. Focus on your kiddos who are looking for guidance and needing their mama or their daddy, right? Focus on the things that you can pour love and kindness and sincerity into, and you will naturally rise to where you're supposed to be. Okay? Through focusing on others, those things that need to be uprooted, those things that need to be changed in ourselves and grow in ourselves will naturally change, will naturally come out, and God will be like, hey, yo, and put his finger on it, right? And you're going to know. I've had a lot of those things last night, a lot. And it's painful and it stinks sometimes, but the other side is so much better. So self-confidence, going back to that. Sorry, I lost my spot here. Oh, okay. So when our mind is on where we've fallen short and on disappointments, it's very likely that we can duplicate that down to our downline. If we're negative all the time, if we've got this like heavy all the time, we're going to send some of that down the pike, which can be really detrimental to the people who are trying to change their lives below us and are in our level ones, and even lower than that. So through failure, failures and disappointments should absolutely be expected in this business and in life. I mean, is that not true? We're going to fail. We're going to be disappointed, and they should be expected. And dare I say it, they should be welcomed. Honest to goodness, ladies. It's in the valleys, if we really, truly press in those hard times, when our greatest change and our greatest, most rewarding growth will come. But you have to want it through that. You have to notice, you have to be aware that things are changing around you, and you need to progress with those changes as well. So if you're struggling with self-confidence, I have another little thing for you to do, another little ditty. It's kind of fun. Make a brag sheet of yourself. Okay? Write down all of the good things all of the things you're good at. So it can be like, you are a great encourager. Write that down. That's a big deal, okay? Or you make the best brownies this side of the Mississippi. Write that down. It's a good thing, right? Anything, nothing's too small, nothing's too big. Write this huge list of things that you're good at, that you can look at that sheet and be like, heck yeah, that's me, and I'm okay with that, you know? And then use that as a small foundation to continue to build your confidence in yourself. Because, I mean, I'll send you all a sheet of what God thinks about you, and you can just add that to it, and your belief will grow quickly, I promise. So product belief, let's move on. Belief is such a choice. I need to say that. I should have said that before. Belief is a choice. We choose to believe. We can choose to believe in ourselves. We can choose to believe in these products and this company, and our sidelines and our downlines and our uplines. It's a choice, okay? So choose to believe in these products. Before you even have proof that these products are working for you or for your downline or for whoever you're prospecting, believe that these products, period, work, because they do, right? You can find thousands of testimonies. You can, believe in this company with every fiber of your being, because they're built on integrity and truth and transparency. They're not going to give us products that are going to be bad for us, right? So choose to believe in these products. Your passion and your belief are going to come through to your customers, to your potentials, to your level ones, your new ambassadors, and even further down. Your passion and your belief are going to be the biggest thing that is going to drive your people to believe in you and believe in this company. So if you're struggling with belief in our products, I did this, so that's why I'm saying to do this, because I did it. Take one product a day as part of your IPA and research ingredients, just the ingredients, and you will be blown away by what you find. We have powerhouse products that have been used for things that I had a conversation with Maria about this, I don't know, probably 9 months ago. We were talking about one of the ingredients in Ease was used to combat HIV and worked forever, but it wasn't making pharmaceutical companies money. And so they took it off the market as something that they could give to HIV patients to help with their virus. Crazy to me. Anyway, that was just a little side note. Let's move on to relationships. So your uplines, let's talk about your uplines. Our uplines. Our uplines, they're our support, right? They're our go-to for support. If you're frustrated, go to your upline. If you are happy about something, go to your upline. If you are sad, if you're struggling with your business, with your life, period, go to your upline. What I want to be for my downline is like their mini counselor. If they need a word of encouragement, please come to me. I want to be that for you. I want to help you through your hard thing. You know, if you're struggling in your marriage, come to me. If you're struggling being a mama, come to me. Period. I mean, if you're my sideline, if I don't even know you, message me. I'll encourage you. I promise you that. But as uplines, our job is to be encouragers. Our job is to love on our downline. Our job is to be that. So if you are frustrated, I'm going to reiterate this. If you are frustrated, go to your upline about frustrations, okay? And on the other side of that, what I'm saying is don't frustrate down to your downline. Keep your frustrations with your upline, okay? We want to build a positive, unified group. So if you're frustrated with a person or about something that a person has done, go to your upline and talk to your upline about that. Let's not trickle that down, and it kind of causes a sewer down the line, you know what I mean? And kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And we really want to build positivity, and that's our goal here, is as a team culture, is uplifting, to be encouraging, to be 100% supportive of one another, and create an environment that is safe, right? Sidelines. Build strong relationships with your sidelines. This is going to be invaluable to your business as you grow. Sidelines make the best friends. I've made some stinking awesome friends as sidelines, and I'm so all the more blessed by that. But as you're training your teams, your sidelines will have ideas that are not your ideas. They will bring to your business so much growth through helping you train your team, and you vice versa. That's why we're one plexus, right? We're use each other's strengths, and we feed that to our teams. It's important. Build these relationships. When you see a sideline, I know that it's hard to watch your sidelines rank up before you, especially if they started after you, right? Be so stinking sincere, happy for them when they rank up. If they're faster than you, that's okay. Like I said before, we're all on this journey that's our own, and you can't compare it, because some of us have way heck more growth to do than other people in certain areas. And that's just one thing, like one attitude that I just want to weed out from my downline. Be so stinking happy when your people, when your sidelines are ranking up faster than you. Downlines. Your relationship with your ambassadors is, I know you all know this, is so stinking important. I say stinking a lot. I'm sorry. I do. My 9-year-old says it a lot. My husband told me I had to stop saying it because my 9-year-old says it too much. But I'm working on it. All right. Love your ambassadors, okay? Love them. Pour encouraging words into them and tell them qualities that you see in them that make them special, okay? Each of us have qualities that are different from other people's, right? We each have gifts and talents that we bring to the table that are to be used for our own business, right? And to be poured out onto other people to be shared. So, send them encouraging notes through snail mail. That's like the best thing ever. I love getting me a little envelope with a stamp on it and opening that thing up and it's telling me how great I am. I really love that. I mean, who doesn't love to be told that they're great, right? Do those things. I mean, it's 50 cents. Like, it's not a big deal, right? It is super important to just pour yourself into your team, okay? Doing these things, like, they're going to be appreciative of that note. You're going to build trust like nobody's belief with your downline. And it is so important to build that trust, to be able to lead them, okay? That is what the goal is, to be able to lead them, for them to trust you, for them to come to you, to be able to duplicate what we want to duplicate in our downline, right? When you get a message of disappointment from your downline, because you're going to get them, don't off the cuff reply with, "You've got this, girl," or "Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry." Don't off the cuff respond. Really, really take a moment and seek the Lord and ask him what this person needs to hear. What does this person need to hear from me? Okay? Because "you've got this" or "everything's going to be okay" isn't always the right response. Okay, it's encouraging to a degree, but when that person really needs to connect with a human being and they're coming to you, got to take that thing so stinking seriously. It's important, okay? Because what we are doing is building relationship with people, lifelong relationships with people. And so, I mean, if my sister came to me and said to me, "Sissy, I'm really, really struggling with this," and I said, "Don't worry, honey, you've got it. Don't worry, it's going to be fine," it wouldn't go so well, right? And so when we're talking to one another, we talk a lot about like being a family. We talk a lot about connecting that way, and we're intertwined in everyone's personal lives and things like that. So let's really be that sounding board as an upline to our downlines, to be able to help them grow, help them move through it, and even maybe like give them advice to a degree of maybe them needing to seek professional help, you know, through whatever they're going through. But be a good friend. Be a good friend, right? So when you have a brand new ambassador, we all kind of, oh gosh, there's lots of chat sessions going on down here, chicks. Holy Hannah. Yes, absolutely, Elizabeth. They absolutely just need you to listen sometimes. And that's a good thing. Like, let a sister cry, you know? Let her cry it out. She'll be better in a lot of cases. So with new ambassadors, 95% of people are not self-starters. They're just not. They just want help. They just want you to paint them a little picture and say, go do this, right? And so let's do that for them, right? Let's do that for them, so they'll do that for the next person when they're growing their team, because that's our goal, right? Is to continue for our ambassadors to grow their teams as well. So we're wanting all of this to trickle down the pike. You should show them step by step what they need to do right away, right out of the gate. So like maybe not day one, unless they're like rocket ship, want to go. Show them step by step where they need to go and what they need to do. You can't just send 2 videos and say, okay, you got it. That's what you need. So do those things. You need constant communication with them. So taking them under your wing for 30 or 60 days and having daily communication with that person, especially if they are wanting to work their team, work with them daily. Hey, what can I help you with? Are you having any, issues with understanding your back office or understanding how you need to be messaging people or whatever the case is? Check your people daily and do that for 30 to 60 days so they can build trust in you. They want to build relationship with you. They want and need to build trust in you, and you need that too. You need them to trust you, and you need them to have a relationship with you, because that's how people stick around, and continue. Like if this is going to happen, you're going to take somebody under your wing for 30 or 60 days and they're going to flake out. After the 60 days, they're going to flake out, and it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be disappointing. That's when you go to your upline, you tell your upline you're disappointed and you're frustrated, but then you continue to love that person. Who cares if they flaked out? They're still a person and they're still your friend, right? You get spent 60 solid days putting your time and your effort into that person. So continue to love and build up and encourage that person. It's not going to be a daily thing, obviously, and you're not going to drag them along behind you, but continue to build that relationship with them. Okay, leadership. Our role as a leadership in this business is really servant leadership, right? So as a servant leader, we serve first, and it's truly a privilege to have this ability to do this. It's a privilege, you guys, and it needs to be like really embraced as a privilege, okay? Servant leadership, I'm going to give you the definition of it, okay? It's a philosophy and a set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, builds better organizations, and ultimately creates a just and more caring world. If any of you spend any time with me, like outside of Plexus stuff, you know that I have like this justice bone in me. And if something is not just, I am like stinking hot about it. Like nobody's business. It's really bad. So when I read that, I was like, hallelujah, yes. So good. Oh, goodness. So as a leader, we steer the ship, right? And we set the tone for our team. But we have the privilege of leading wait, hold on a second. I'm like losing my space here. Get all crazy. So to have the privilege of leading your team, it's crucial that you have your mindset in place and that your relationships with your people are healthy. Because ain't heck no way, if somebody doesn't trust you and doesn't have a healthy relationship with you, that they're going to let you lead them anywhere. And there is nowhere that says when you sign people up that they're going to follow you just because you're the leader. They don't have to. I mean, they don't really. They can do whatever the heck they want. And we don't necessarily want that happening. But to have the privilege of leading people, you truly need someone's trust and have the relationship set in place, right? And your mindset needs to be in a place where you're emotionally stable enough to handle the job of leadership. It shouldn't be taken lightly. It's a weighty title. It's a weighty hat that we wear to lead people and help people grow. And it's a big deal, okay? You can grow a team by adding people. Absolutely, you can do it. You can grow a team. If these people don't trust you and they don't believe in you, you can still grow a team. If they want these products, they'll come to you and they'll be like, oh, this chick sells it. I can get it from her. They'll come to you. But the reality is, to continue to have your team grow and for it to be healthy, Trust and respect are at the forefront of what we're doing here as leaders, right? And we have to take it so seriously. I mean, like as serious as being a mom, y'all, like it's a big deal, okay? I'm gonna read you 10 characteristics of being a servant leader, okay? These were like super stinking powerful to me. I loved them. So number 1 is listening. Servant leaders listen first, okay? Empathy. Servant leaders see the world through the eyes of the other. Heal. Servant leaders wish to make injured people heal. Okay, I mean, and that's really what we're doing here, right? I mean, in all facets of healing, really, physical, mental, emotional, that's really what our job is, you guys. Awareness. Servant leaders are aware of their physical, social, and political environments, and they carry themselves accordingly. So to be aware of the environment that you're in and to be able to be emotionally sound and mature enough to hold yourself well in uncomfortable situations is important. Persuasion. Servant leaders persuade by the use of gentle, non-judgmental argument to create change. I love that. Is that not what we do? Like, it's so good. Somebody tells you your probiotics don't work. Let me tell you why they do. Conceptualization. Servant leaders visualize the big future. 7 is foresight. Servant leaders use the past and present to plan for the future. 8, stewardship. Servant leaders take responsibility. That's thinking hard, right? Just to say, yep, okay, that's on me, over and over and over again. It's hard to do that. But again, like you grow so much by just saying, yep, I got that. Okay, good. Commitment to people is number 9. Servant leaders place a premium on the individual. So we see people as valuable to us, right? Because they are, just as people, not as dollar signs for a business and not as ranking us up or anything like that. People have value and they add value to us just by having relationship with one another. 10 is building community. Servant leaders seek to create union or synergy. So, I mean, that is the gist of really what we're doing here and what this whole creating team culture is about, right? It's about building trust with our downlines, our uplines, our sidelines. It's about having a mindset and being emotionally sound to be able to grow a business into an empire that is much bigger and better than we ever dreamed anything could ever be for ourselves or for our families. And to be able to pass that down to the people that are following behind us. We're paving the way for them, and we need to take that seriously. And as a team, have a unity that's unbreakable. You know, if we've got frustration with another lady on our team, go to them and talk to them. And just, I mean, seriously, chat it out. I bet you it's just full of misunderstandings. I bet you it is. I would stake my life on that half the time. I'm not even kidding you. I'm going to end this with this quote from Rebecca Folks. She's a Diamond Ambassador. I don't know if y'all know her, but she's awesome. Culture eats strategy for lunch. When people feel like they belong to something special, it creates a sense of ownership and belonging that will help them ride the waves of the ups and downs of this business. And I just feel like it kind of ties it all together. Like we have mindset and self-confidence and confidence in our products and our company for a reason, right? And it's kind of a foundation to be able to build healthy relationships with people and then to grow and to be able to lead people. And oh my goodness, I'm missing a whole entire part of this whole thing and it's right here in front of me. Anyway, but it really builds into being able to be a leader of people and for them to trust us. Oh my goodness. Sorry, that was my lampshade that just got into the computer screen. This last little bit is about accountability. And I totally forgot it was here. Elizabeth, do you want me to keep going? Do we have time to keep going? Yeah? Okay. Accountability. Oh, man. So when I was a younger baby ambassador, when somebody said accountability to me, I was like, who the heck do I need to be accountable to? I had such a bad attitude about it because it just kind of like, when I was younger, being accountable to somebody just meant that I was like having to tell them everything I did wrong. And it put a bad taste in my mouth for the word accountability, which is silly. So I just started really reading about accountability, what it is, and like just what it really means and what our uplines really mean by accountability. So let's really talk about what they mean, okay? They want you to be successful. That's it. That's all. They just want us to be successful. That's it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I learned. Accountability helps us measure what is successful and what we still need to work on. Okay, which is not a bad thing. We all have something to work on, and we need to face it. It's not a bad thing. It's good. Okay, it helps us be responsible for the choices that we make and keeps us from making excuses, which we all got those. Everybody's got an excuse for something, and we need to kick them to the curb, y'all. Excuses stink. So things that will help you be accountable, and it's not always to your upline. Your accountability isn't always to your upline. So there's other people in this picture that are super important, right? That add value to your business, like your family, right? You need to be accountable to your family. We've all probably made goals and talked to our spouses if you have one, or talk to your kids if you've got them, or your sister or your mama or your daddy or whoever's in your life that you've talked to about this and said, I want this and this is why I want it, right? Well, those people are rooting for you. They've got your back, hopefully. And if they don't, you just come see me and I'll have your back. But if you haven't yet, sit down and have a meeting with your shareholders, have a meeting with your people, right? Explain to them why you're doing this. I sat down and I got to tell my kids the other day, I have this big chalkboard up on my desk, and they just said, what are all these white words? And Cole, my oldest, is reading them, and Cohen, my middle, is like, yeah, let mom read them to me. And so it's my why. And it just says Cole, Cohen, and Cade deserve it. And my marriage is worthy of it. Okay? My marriage is so worthy to have a husband and wife that just stinking love the heck out of spending time with one another all the stinking time. And my kids just deserve to have a mama and a daddy at home all the time. Why not? Why don't they deserve it? And so that was fun to share with them. That's my why. That's what's keeping me going, right? So have that meeting with them. Explain to them your goals, your why, what you're doing this business for. Your kids might just think, oh, she's sitting on the computer again, she's playing Candy Crush or something. You know what I mean? Like, have the important meetings that you need to have. Explain why you're doing Plexus. And explain that when you get to a certain point, what you get to do. So maybe you want to put a pool in. Tell them that. Put a picture up on the refrigerator, and say, oh, when mommy gets to this, we're having a pool put in, or a puppy, or whatever. I mean, whatever it is. So they can have a visual in their space that they live in, and they can say, this is what my mom's working for. This is why my mom missed my soccer game, or this is why my mom missed ballet recital. Like, this is why, because we're trying to get here, and it's not this idea of having all this mom guilt or parent guilt. I don't know if there's any dads on here, but it's not the idea of having to breed all this guilt into ourselves and believe the lies that we're doing terrible things to our family by missing out on a couple of things, keeps us accountable, keeps us going. So make yourself a dream board. I don't know if y'all have done this yet. I have one. Mine's mostly words and like little stick figures because that's what I did at the time. But my kids know our goal is to buy a farm. It's to buy a farm and have a bunch of goats and pigs and cows and stinky, smelly animals, which is exciting to them, I guess. But that's our goal. So sit down and make a dream board and put your family on that dream board. What's something that your kids want? What's something that your husband wants? What is something that is going to build you and grow you into a better person, that this business is going to be the avenue that gets you there? You know, put that down and post it where they can all see it. Another way you can be accountable is to goal setting. So you set your goals, you make your goals, and then chart what you're doing during the week to keep yourself accountable. Every day, write down at the end of the day what you did. So at the end of Friday or whatever day that you go and reconcile your entire week of everything that you did for your IPA, you can see, did I work? Did I do what I needed to do this week? Did I reach out the way I needed to reach out this week? Did I pour myself into growing myself this week? Did I pour myself into my downline this week? Did I do what I needed to get done? John C. Maxwell has this quote, and he says, the secret of success is determined by your daily agenda. Okay, so set a timeline and know that the timeline that you're setting to reach your goals, it's the time that you're willing to trade off, right, to get there. It's the time out of your comfort zone that you're willing to step out of. Life events that you're willing to trade, and everything else in between that's going to determine how fast you get there. No one's telling you to miss these big important events. No one's saying that's mandatory, because it's not. Nobody has to do that, okay? But just know that, I mean, if you're going on vacation for a week and your business is on the back burner, you know, like, that's your choice, right? And that's okay, but you have to be okay with your choices and then not complain about things being slow, right? There's another quote that I love. It's by Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So these small little things that you're doing every day that you're writing down at the end of the day, you get to the end of the week, and that added up to, I mean, how many people could you have reached out to in 1 week? Depending on the time frames that you have set for yourself during the day. Are you working yourself 5 hours a week? Are you working yourself 10 hours a week? How many hours a week are you working? But by writing down all those small things that you're doing, and at the end of the week reconciling and saying, wow, I really kicked butt this week, you know, and then really seeing 6 months down the road after doing that, the growth that's come from all of those small efforts that you made repeatedly over and over and over again is going to be something that's going to continue to encourage you to keep going and continue to encourage you to keep your blinders on, you know? You'll find that you can see where you are in your business and where your business is going when you write these things down based on your actions. I basically just said that, just in more words, I guess. If you need help with your IPA for time-wise, use timers. Set 10, 15-minute timers. Sit down and say, I'm reaching out in this 10 to 15 minutes. It's like having your own mini power hour. And then if you need some training, you need some encouragement on being disciplined, or, you know, whatever the case is, set another 10 or 15 minutes aside and go find yourself a video and sit down and watch it. Get it done. Check it off your list and be proud of that. Be proud that you sat down and you did it, right? And be absolutely so productive with the time that you do give yourself. Don't scroll Facebook in that time. Don't scroll Instagram in that time. Really, really, really pour into your business in the time that you allow yourself to have. I really love the idea of having a running partner. I don't have one yet, and I'm looking for one. So all y'all I'm looking. Got my eye on some people. I'm going to message you. But 1 Thessalonians 1:5 says, he created us to work together, to edify, support, and celebrate each other. So find yourself a running buddy, somebody that can support you, somebody that can edify you and tell you when you're stinking it up if your attitude stinks, you know? We need the people in our life to be able to keep us accountable to how we should be holding ourselves as leaders, right? One thing that I love that I found, I did a bunch of all of this research through a bunch of videos and trainings through a bunch of diamonds. And I found this one from Brooke Hemingway, And they're doing accountability Zoom calls once a week. And I think that's so awesome, just to get on there and chat it up, talk about your goals for however long, and then come back a week later and talk about it. How did it go? How did it not go? And bounce your ideas off of everybody. You got 20 people sitting in front of you on a Zoom call, you can get a lot of good ideas, right? I think that through accountability, being accountable in our prayer life is such a huge thing that will bless your business to no end. Pray, 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 pray over your business, over your team, over your family, that God would put a hedge of protection around your family. I'm telling you, today I got up this morning and the enemy was chirping in my ear like nobody's business. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm doing the call. Like, this is the first live call I think I've done. And I was really stinking nervous about it. And he was really trying to tell me that I wasn't qualified. I'm like, whatever, dude. Yeah, I am. So pray. The enemy's going to attack your family. Things are going to come. They are going to come. I mean, period. I had a girl like try to chat me up today and try to prospect me for another company on my own post. It's silly. Things are going to come. You're going to get pushed. You're gonna. And it's when you really prove yourself in how stuck your feet are where you're at, you know? Like, you really have got to stand your ground. So hold yourself accountable. Be accountable to the people that you love in your family and your friends, and allow those people in your upline to hold you accountable. It's out of love that they're doing it. It's out of just pure desire to see you succeed. There's no underlying reason why these women would take time out of their life and say, hey, like, I noticed this was happening. Did you see it too? You know, hey, you haven't posted very much this week. Is something going on? It's going to give you the ability to have somebody that you can confide in, for one, and bounce things off of, for two, and then help kick you in the pants to get your butt going again. You know, that's why we have each other. So that's my little ditty on accountability. I can't believe I almost forgot it. And we're in under an hour, and that's like a big stinking deal. Holy moly. Ladies, thanks for letting me talk to you tonight. This chat thread is full, a bit of it. You can unmute yourselves if you have anything to say or questions. I don't know.
First of all, I just want to chime in and say thank you, Robin. Oh my gosh, I'm just covered in goosebumps. I know everybody else is. I'm thinking of all my other people on our team who I want to see this and be blessed by it too. Girl, you have a gift. I'm going to stop talking and let other people chime in, but I'm telling you what, I am blown away. It was amazing.
You're kind. Thank you.
It was amazing. Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Robin. That was awesome. I almost missed this call tonight, and I'm so glad I didn't. There was definitely a reason for me to be here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you guys, I hope you all received something from it.
Yeah, I missed the